If you're a final expense agent selling face-to-face, or as my cohorts would say, belly to belly, this may be the most important video that you'll ever see. Unfortunately, half the agents that get into our industry fail because they just don't want to follow the simple platform of techniques and strategies that have been working for years. And the crazy part is that I've never seen an agent fail that actually followed all of my recommendations and suggestions. Zero agents fail that actually do what I teach. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, and yet everybody seems to give it a try. Trust me guys, the wheel turns exactly the way it's supposed to. You're gonna see what I'm talking about coming up after this. I'm Douglas Massi, and thanks for checking out our videos. And before I get right into the number one most common mistake that agents make when, they get into final expense sales, if you'll hang around till the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to get the free new agent starter kit and, check this out, the Overcoming Objections super file. Now, these two zip files are a must-have for anybody that's selling final expense on a face-to-face basis, as they have basically all the props and tools that you'll want to use during your final expense presentation. And I'm talking about including scripts on dealing with objections while door knocking leads, setting appointments, and closing the sale. The number one most common mistake that final expense agents make is actually a lack of commitment. In all transparency with our industry, it's true. You can make a lot of money. Your license is like having a money printing machine, but you're going to only lose money if you get into final expense sales and treat your business as, well, my father used to say, half-assed. You can't half-ass it, Dougie. Our business and industry is just as hard as any sales industry. Now, to me, of course, the sales part is the easy part. That's because, well, I've been doing this thing for years and already have a system in place that will actually work for anybody that follows it. But for most new agents, especially if, let's say, you don't have any sales experience, the sales part can be kind of hard. And that's why so many people either give up altogether, like almost immediately, or they end up bouncing around from one IMO to the next IMO, only to keep bouncing and moving around again and again and again and over and over and over. So let me just say this, guys. If you can't commit your heart and soul into selling final expense full-time for at least a few, and let me put it this way, short months of your life, while you're spending money on leads, you're learning how to do the business, then you're probably better off just getting a regular job, doing something else. There, I said it, it's the truth. It's a business, just like any business. So if you decided to, let's say, open up a, computer store, for instance, you'd have to sign a one-year lease to start, at least. You'd probably have to stay open for months, paying out thousands of dollars for advertising, overhead, employees, before you even start getting enough incoming business to even break even on your bills. Before we talk about the number two most common mistake, I'm going to ask that you smash down on the thumbs up button right now. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do that now. We're putting out new final expense sales training videos on a weekly basis. So let's talk about that number two mistake that new final expense agents make, is that they're going to get a batch of final expense Facebook leads or other cheap type of leads, and we'll call them to set appointments. I'm one of those people that truly believes that you must master the art of door knocking your leads before you even think about picking up the phone to start calling to set appointments. And I know this sounds a little counterproductive, but most of your sales, especially when you're new, while you're learning, will come from door knocking your leads. Actually, all of your sales during your first few months should come from door knocking your leads. And it doesn't matter what kind of lead you're using, whether you're using direct mail leads, telemarketer leads, or the final expense Facebook leads. And here's the thing. Our industry is based on selling final expense face-to-face, and the bottom line is that, well, when you're new, it's going to be easy for you to get in front of more people by just door knocking the leads. There is an exception to the rule. And let's say that you're a true business professional and are very strong on the phone, a stone cold killer when it comes to sales, and you're working at least 30 final expense direct mail leads every single week. Then consider calling to set appointments. If you're working telemarket leads or, Facebook leads, even if you're working 50 of those each week, which is pretty much impossible to get, forget about calling them. Take the lead to the client's house and just talk your way inside. In my opinion, as of today, towards the end of 2020, after the virus has taken over our lives, you still need to be committed to working final expense direct mail leads every single week in order to make a really good living at face-to-face final expense sales. And that brings us to the number 3 most common mistake that final expense agents make: working cheap leads. Facebook and telemarketed leads are not the way to go in our business. I do believe that it's okay for new agents and, let's say salespeople that maybe don't have a record of success to work the cheaper final expense Facebook leads while they are learning the business. Cheap leads are great for getting in front of several prospects every day in a way that is more affordable while you're learning. Unfortunately, most agents tend to be a little bit chicken shit when it comes time to correctly investing into their business by committing to the more expensive weekly fixed cost direct mail leads. Final expense direct mail leads do cost around $35 each. And if you're an independent agent, like the agents on our sales team, you're gonna need to have at least $2,000 to $3,000 just to get these bad boys rolling in and to get you through that first month or so. And yeah, all the successful final expense agents are still working direct mail leads. I still don't know anybody that's making a 6-figure income working cheap telemarketer leads or Facebook leads selling face-to-face. As a matter of fact, the only agents making over $50,000 or $60,000 per year do that because they've invested into their business 110% with their heart and their souls. They've all started out with door knocking their leads until they've become door knocking masters, at least most of them, and they've all graduated to working at least 30 or more direct mail leads every single week, doing really a combination of calling to set the appointments while door knocking the direct mail leads between the appointments. In our industry, the agents that put in the most activity succeed, and the slackers end up back working for the man. If you'd like a copy of that free new agent starter kit and the objections super file that I mentioned earlier, just shoot me an email at doug@ufesonline.com. And for more information on joining our top producer sales team and getting access to those killer direct mail leads that I mentioned, look, just email me at that same address. Remember, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get on out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.